Hugo, how are you feeling, man? I haven't heard much out of you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just happy to see Brazilian CS back on the menu, back on the map. You know, obviously it's a weird time, but with Fallen in Liquid, with Cold in FaZe, with Furia, albeit a little bit shaky right now, but still definitely a team to look out for here in Europe. And with this MIBR roster, plus the old MIBR roster, I say old, very recently old, that's being rumored to be picked up elsewhere. We'll see if that continues as well. So yeah, a lot of talent in this region right now, and I'm all for it. Are we live is always the question. I think we are. Players were milling about in spawn, but now FaZe running up alt mid, T-side start. They need to start strong. Here it is, their map pick. Don't want to get 2-0'd and go 0-2 in the group. FaZe already fell to Mousesports. They got bullied in that game. MIBR at least put up a pretty confident display against Heroic, although falling short of that series. Here come FaZe with a bit of a pop into A.
Ooh, all the way through Arch. Going for that wrap. This, and in fact, MIBR actually set up really nicely for this. The bait from Yell, but they were not buying it. Oh, Yell, there we go. That's what you want to see. Great start to begin with, but it's not over. Maybe it is. Yell still popping heads. Finally dealt with by Cold. However, it falls into a 2v2, so it's still already anyone's game at this point. The bomb is down. And looks like it's going to be collected. Great work from Cold. And they don't seem to know exactly where Shiz is, but now they know. And he surely sees the bomb, but maybe a little bit too late.
That execute is so cool for FaZe, man. Like now MIBR are triple B, right? So that's one key thing to keep in mind. But let's assume that they weren't. The reason that's so cool is because FaZe dropped the Moto Smoke. What that's often going to do if you're hitting A is force the long player past the Moto Smoke to even play Grave or Sight and actually commit. Now, obviously that long player is in B, so that's not a problem. But combined with the App Smoke, and I think it was Cold jumping out, backing up short, he draws a lot of attention from A players, pit players, Sight players. They're all looking at him, and he just backs out safe into mid while FaZe run CT. Really cool idea. And even though MIBR are stacked up in B, they're not able to stop it. So there's the pistol. Force up for the Brazilian side early. A 4-man A setup as FaZe put pressure on both sides of the map.
MIBR being very patient. So there is pressure all around the map at the moment from FaZe. It's fairly obscure for MIBR as to what to expect. You can see now Yell is going to be drifting to spawn, back to Arch, to spawn, back to Arch. But finally, MIBR might have something to shoot at here. Now Yell will be quite keen, maybe creating some distraction from Danico's position, but they'll hear that connection. That's why the grenade's thrown like that. But still somehow they're not able to get the kills. This is looking dangerous. Danico finally taken out, but it's been so labored and they've lost so much. Recovery on the way, but Yell, he is really popping off with these pistols so far on Inferno. It looks like a completely different player versus Dust 2, and these Deagles are savage. The work that they've been doing, leaving Olofmeister in a desperate position. That's not the gun you want. That's the one you want. What Cello has, the headshot from him to end the round in decisive fashion. MIBR really causing quite the upset there.
Yeah, they had no business getting that right. You thought that Danico was done once the flash hit him, but landing the first shot and then helped out by his teammate as well to do even more. Like that was really, really nice, having all those crossfires set up at long. And it's like, even when you dealt with that first crossfire, there was still more where that came from. So great usage, great work into these pistols, into these kind of fatal funnels, right, for MIBR. Nade's going to do a lot of damage onto Kirby. He's looking a little worse for wear now. Danico's back in his corner again. Has support this time from Library. And interesting to note, Yell's bought the AWP out. He's not messing around at all. You know, this is up against the Force Buy. It's often considered pretty dangerous, kind of risky to get that AWP in place so quickly. So let's see if he's able to put it to good use. He's about to go toe-to-toe with Rain on this long angle. We've bigged up Rain's pistols before. This time the Deeg not going to find anything. Not right away, at least. Danico still patiently waiting in this corner. Hasn't given up his position yet. And there's the turnaround from Rain. That Deeg getting up in the face of MIBR. Top mid control now taken. And this round kind of hanging in the balance a little awkwardly so. FaZe with the map control they were looking for. But MIBR have got 3 players here still. And into the MP9 they run. Shuz with the first. Deagle out for Yell as he's trying to nail them from afar. No bomb plant today, as it's just Olaf again, left in an undoable clutch.
Yeah, I love that AWP on long combined with the player tucked in the cubby. Even though he only gets away with 1, like the AWP is such a big piece of that pie that as soon as it fires a shot, even though FaZe smoke it off, they just leave. They go, yep, I want nothing to do with that. There's no way there's another player. An AWP is enough for long. And they just completely discount the cubby. And he's able to swing and get a kill and get all the info that FaZe are walking short with the bomb. Even though it's only 1-for-1, FaZe don't exploit the long position. They go into the heavily padded A site, and now they're broke. So MIBR turning it on its head very early. This is what happened on Dust, man. FaZe, they win the pistol, they lose to a Force, and then it starts to get a bit dangerous. So we're seeing already similarities between the two. This should be a nice clean round for MIBR to go 3-1 up, and then we'll have AKs out again for FaZe.
Wow, look how hungry MIBR are for the kills there, just trying to push into the spawn, FaZe letting it happen. They are getting quite a lot of damage off here, but they won't get... Oh, there's 1 kill right at the end. So, yeah, I totally agree. I felt the same way, that this is quite similar to Dust 2, but unlike Dust 2, I think there's going to be less opportunity for FaZe on the T side to really have some of those more upsetting Force buys themselves. It looks like MIBR might be stabilizing pretty much immediately. Especially if they're able to deal with this next gun round, then FaZe are going to be in a pretty awful spot. So we'll see exactly what the approach is from FaZe here, whether they, what the pacing is that they will be going to. And on the other hand, Yell, he's got the AWP ready to go straight up. So this, and it looks like FaZe are going to ignore Banana completely. And they may just go for this A play straight up as well.
Yeah, out of spawn, but Danico is looking to get in the way of that. Oh, Olaf's just turned. Oh, the timing. Somehow Danico gets away with that kill. He has a full bout of util, and now he can actually make use of that as he backs up with low health. Dump it while you can, because FaZe coming with a pace in mind. Rain is very quick up along, spam through the smoke. He needs to be careful of Arch as well. That AWP is still there, and FaZe realize it. They go, nope, want nothing to do with that. 4 players on the A site, doubling back to B already.
Look at how much damage was done through those smokes, man. FaZe just all wounded from that. Oh, hello. Back into the apartments. All right, gentlemen, what you doing here then? They take this little stroll up through the second mid and now into apps, and they've also got a man in the form of Brokey making his appearance out into the top of mid, wanting to commit to this A bomb site. Now with 3 players so low, these SMGs might be in prime position to get away with more than perhaps they should be allowed. They've been baited into Danico. He's lost his teammate, so it is just him left inside of this site. He's got to buy time now because MIBR have got 3 on B, and with him falling, they're now in a 3-on-3 retake inside of this A site. A little bit of a rough spot, so what was looking dire for FaZe has ended up going in their favor. Thanks to that slowdown, it led to MIBR overcompensating, and they're actually saving. They've got Cello here, but the other 2 aren't leaving B. The rotations are just going to take too long to come in. And so they've said to Cello, yeah, man, have a little look if you want. And he might wish he never did. Didn't like what he saw.
What a great move from FaZe to reset back into apartments. I think most of the time you are generally, if you had to make a gamble, you're going to expect most teams to go for B here. I think the majority of the time. I think FaZe obviously able to play off of that in a multitude of ways. Firstly, they're representing a really huge A push when they didn't ever detect any kind of push on Banana. So they knew or had a good guess that MIBR wouldn't have info on Banana. So when they reset, because they assumed that all of the rotations would have come through spawn, there really would have been no way for MIBR to really know whether FaZe are going B or A, just that it's much more likely to go B. So really well played from them. As we could see, it just all worked out perfectly to plan. Got the 2 kills on the site, and as you said, the rotation times were too punishing.
Oh, very audacious peek for Yell again. He is all over the place. Oh, good flash, but the smoke blooms, and so Shuz is safe. Only just. Kiebi's got to push the smoke. They hear the burn.
Oh.
How is he still alive? 20 health. No one takes him down. That could have been a freebie for MIBR, and they even throw a molly. They lock the door in the face of the CT side, keeping Kiebi in the round. Oh, smoke spam. Wouldn't want to mess with it. It's been pretty good so far. Danico giving it a go, but back to B are FaZe. The Bolts and Cello waiting in the site. First rotate will be coming from the long side. And it will be needed. Wow.
Oh my word! MIBR, they don't need the rotation. They just lock it in between the 2 of them. That's lovely stuff. You know, like, normally when you're in that situation, you're kind of hoping that the B players manage to trade favorably. You know, maybe you go 4-on-4 and then you set up for the retake, something like that, because that's full utility raining in. They throw down that defensive smoke, and really that smoke for MIBR does so much for them. Forces FaZe to have to commit through it and turns that site into a bit of a bloodbath. The crossfires are really, really good for MIBR right now. Danico loves this little corner, doesn't he? He loves the cubby at long. It's not like an uncommon position, but I can't think of a time where I've seen someone go to it so reliably.
Rops is really, really good at that spot as well. He played it in a game via Astralis recently. Coach Lau made a great video on it, and Rops just destroyed from this position. It took Astralis an entire game to figure out how to get him out of this spot. And yeah, you're at bare minimum, you'd like to think you're always good for a 1-for-1 there. And he's been getting traded a lot, but honestly, 1-for-1s with Yell also AWPing long in lots of these rounds. It's not like you've been giving a pathway into CT for FaZe. And so it's all under control right now. Kiebi in a great spot. He's going to wait out the motor smoke. The bomb is not rushing to join him. They know that smoke will fade and they can't replenish it. And Kiebi's hoping he can get a kill before his team drop into the site.
Bolts, real magic here. Someone to make a misstep, but already FaZe are well positioned and they are being quite disciplined. Forcing Bolts to go so deep that he's in a crossfire. Kirby simply has to untap the crouch button. And there we go. Nice shot from Kirby. He's going to finish off everybody. Really nice setup. And there we go. Just like that, FaZe can control. Much more comfortable. It's a scrappy game between these two teams, I have to say.
Yeah, it feels like FaZe have figured out a really good remedy to this double long hold. I don't think this is something that's going to work for MIBR if they keep running it now, not with what FaZe have been doing, which is concentrating the majority of their efforts over towards short and apartments, bypassing the long players, and then using that moto smoke to cut out Yell with the AWP. It essentially means that Shuz, whenever these pushes have been coming in, is just kind of out on an island all alone with no ability for the rest of his team to support him. And, you know, Yell keeps waiting longside, hoping that smoke doesn't land, but it has every single time at Moto when FaZe have tried to make these A plays happen. So they've come up with a nice remedy to nullifying this long setup that MIBR have. And you can see that that's forced an adjustment now out of this CT side, right? With Danico coming back around and actually playing inside of the A site with Shuz. So they've at least got that to fall back on.
Ooh, it looks like Kirby just entertaining them at the B site and keeping players on that site, and there's no one here to defend this A-bomb site. It's looking so open, and once again, MIBR seem to have been tricked by FaZe's pressure, and look how easily this round has been won, because it's absolutely a save now. It seemed like really not that much took place, but FaZe's deception did really all the work they needed.
Imagine if MIBR were triple arch right now, trying to retake. I know they're not. I know it's not a worry, but there's only one man on the site. Who knows what could have happened? FaZe
Look at this, FaZe are execing B when the bomb's already down.
Yeah.
MIBR thinking, what the hell is this, man? They've done a full execute and then we're trying to save. Oh my. You don't see that every day. Bombs down, exec B, and Yell don't get away either. They're all there.
That's so well played from FaZe.
That's a FaZe. That's actually so awesome, because, you know, if you look at a lot of the maps in the map pool, I feel like Inferno is one of those maps where it is actually, there's a lot of teams that will just, these days, go for a full, like, save. You know, you lose those 2 players on a, like, this scenario happens fairly often, so it's actually so cool that FaZe like, yep, we know exactly the kind of protocols here. We're just going to go straight for an exec, because they have all the utility for that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the real middle finger, right? That's almost like sending the message like, yeah, we know what you're doing. Like, we're so aware of what's going on. And, you know, it doesn't take a genius to work out the B save, but even the method in which they hunt it down, they cordon off those angles, everything suggests that FaZe have a great read on what is going on. I do think that having some kind of double setup for MIBR side is going to be the key here, because that round there falls apart as a result of Yell early rotating over towards B on the back of Kirby, you know, making noise and drawing the rotations in. And then that splits up Shuz and Danico, the change that they made heading into that round. Danico went back to long, Shuz was left alone in the site, and that meant that Shuz dies, Danico tries to swing long for the trade, and they just nail him, and suddenly the round's over. You know, even though having the double short setup definitely comes with its own set of drawbacks, right? It means that you're really slow to rotate to B, you kind of struggle with being mobile, you have to keep a player bearing in mind that they can wrap CT into that B bomb site. So it certainly has like its own struggles and limitations, but FaZe have been really exploiting this apartments and short setup, and they just say, look, if you want to have players at long, we're just going to dodge them, man. We're not even going to worry about these long players. This round, they're walking into an A stack. It's only vanilla pistols for the most part, though, so it should be nice and easy. Bit of team damage in there to help MIBR out. And Shelly may as well run in and see if he can get away with another kill, because you've already done great damage in this round, at least.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that MIBR should try and get more of a win around Banana, because what they're doing is they're gamble stacking, like, and they're losing rounds because they're just gamble stacking. They don't have information, and obviously that's part of the trick of playing a good T side, is to deny that information. But it feels like MIBR could be doing more to get that info that they need to have when these 8 attacks are coming in. Not just one player that's just like sitting on the site with no one to play with, but to have instead like 4 players possibly, or at the very least to have 3 players. Slow it down so a 4th player can arrive and put FaZe in a spot where they have to decide whether they reset or you know, commit into that 4-player defended bomb site. So, you know, these are scenarios that aren't happening, that are pretty typical, I would say, of Inferno gameplay. But we're not seeing it. We're just seeing FaZe exploiting MIBR gambling and getting it wrong.
Still pretty close scoreline.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. After you.
No, I was just gonna say it looks like they're maybe taking that to heart a little bit more of a challenge here on Banana.
FaZe concede it though. The deep smoke keeps them out, and MIBR move in. Orpin Apps will miss it. Shot. Yell goes back. That's, yeah, very risky. Not a third time. You're bonkers, Yell. You are crazy. And no one's even going to punish him. Bye. You take it, but no kill. Only some lost health. 4 and A again. MIBR have the info banana and Cello has a smoke if FaZe rush. This is a good setup. 4 players here back to the cubby. And yeah, FaZe are aware of it this time. The molly goes in for cold. It's going to force Danico out. Will he try and be sneaky with the smoke timing, get back in the molly? It's lucky he didn't because they pushed the smoke and he takes a kill. Giving up the archway and playing the spawn. Now FaZe can wrap A. Shiz is between a rock and a hard play. He's trapped on the top. He gets one. Danico pushes in through long, but Brokey's holding with the AWP, and FaZe's reaction here is very good. They may have lost the bomb, but they've retrieved it and taken it into the site. Bolts cannot deny the plant, and he's going to get there just a second too late. Double peaked, and Olof covers the planter. Cello, same as last round, except this time at least he's armed.
Oh yeah, but the graveyard tuck, right? This is a horrible position to be in. Rain just doesn't have to peak, and Olof is constantly drawing the attention in. Now, what that's probably going to do for Cello is convince him that there's a site crossfire as well, because that's really, really common with this pit player. They also know that that's where Rain was. Look, he's so concentrated on the site that he's just not ready for Rain being up in the graveyard. So great bit of repositioning there and kind of, you know, going against what is standard to set yourself up. Having Rain just hide and play the timing, not playing that crossfire that's so common between pit and site. Now, FaZe are looking like really, really determined to take this one. You know, every kind of decision that they've made since they pieced together this long side has been great. And there's not really much of a response yet from MIBR. Even the different things they've tried haven't really worked out for them.
That was definitely a much better round, though. We saw that they actually had the info to actually have a very competitive series of engagements and scenarios. They had players in position. There's a lot of worlds where MIBR win that round. They had everything in place. It's just a lot of timings and so on. It didn't go their way ultimately, but at least they didn't just get completely caught off guard because they didn't have any information. So I'm liking that change. It makes it feel like there's still hope for MIBR in their next buy rounds, but it would be a really sad prospect if they lose the AWP in this round, and sometimes that's just going to happen, but hopefully for their sake they're able to find a way to hold on to it.
Well, some of the hunting we've seen from FaZe, I'd be a little worried, right? Like usually it's if the AWP is avoided, it's like, oh well, I can save it now, but that doesn't look like a guarantee by any means. It is on long. It's in the right place right now. Smoke comes in. Yell giving it a go. He's going for the risky play through the smoke. He waits for them to cross. Cold holds it, and then he turns back as he takes that AWP out of the round. Danico stuck in the site, not for long. Cello with a kill. Oh, he's doubled it on the USP. No way, Cello. It's not a pistol round. Go to bed. It's only Bolt in a one on three, and FaZe looking for their 7th. Surely no issue. Can they get the AWP out of that themselves? They're hanging on to it. They know it's here. And they grab the AWP for Brokey as well. So yeah, I like that play for FaZe. They just surround the AWP. They're like, if he's doing anything, he's going for that weapon. He's going to try and save it. So let's just wait until he does. And no way. This is a great T-side for FaZe.
Yeah, it's certainly looking fantastic. And I think some of the adaptations from MIBR might be coming a little late, but better than never. And this is such a, I feel like it's such a telling round coming up now. MIBR have been, in such a struggle, and I hope that they don't overcompensate going into this next buy round. I hope they just do what we saw in that last buy round. Get that information on Banana. FaZe didn't care about that at all. They were just confident, even though they knew that MIBR would have players in position to attack, to defend A, all 4 players. MIBR still just walked straight, or rather, FaZe just walked straight into it, didn't care. So that's actually a good thing for MIBR. But let's see if they can get control of Banana again. If FaZe allow that, looks like FaZe have more of a mind to challenge this, at least have Cold in position. He's found one single spot there that's not on fire, and that's worked out quite nicely. Cello goes down, and MIBR off to a horrible position. Their money sucks. and Bolts is alone on B. This could be another 3-man save attempt if things go poorly here, but we'll see if there's a recovery to be had.
FaZe could have just gone straight into the B site and probably won it out there, but they're hoping that MIBR have moved into a 2-2 setup. Pulling the brakes, playing slow in a 5-on-4. It's not a bad call for FaZe. Avoiding stacks is the aim of the game. And hoping MIBR make an aggressive move, make a mistake. You see Kiebi's looking into the wall. He's hoping for a flash so he can turn on it. Danico on the boost. Rain does pick up his teammate. Danico has to drop, but he has been so good. Only good for one in this round. And now Yell with the AWP has to do something sublime. That's a start. With no trade potential, they're going to try and avoid the AWP and go B with the bomb. Bolts is here on his lonesome.
Oh, 30 seconds as they go in. Bolts trying to play to deny this bomb plant by the looks of things. Waiting on the other side of this smoke. Oh, the timing's looking good. But they just missed it as they get behind the fountain. Does get one at the very, very least. Leaves Yell in a spot where he certainly can try and give this a go. It's Brokey that's the real threat. I think Kiebi here just to draw them in. There's the first shot, and oh, Yell with the follow-up. That is lovely. You'll take that all day long. I don't think there was any way he was going to get that done. Not with the crossfire they had set up, but a couple of missed shots from Kiebi just gives that split second, that little window to get the 1v1. Ducks out of there. And then needed to nail that shot first time around, and he does. MIBR up onto 5, and it's Yell in the 1v2 to make it happen.
It's crazy here, because you see Kiebi's position too. Kiebi had like the perfect position. He had this right eye peek, again, where he's really far away from the angle against the left eye peek of Yell. So Yell, like, getting that frag on the player backside is insane. So just barely avoid the first couple bullets of Kiebi. Just insane stuff. That's a huge win. If that doesn't turn the momentum here for MIBR, I don't know what will. They're starting off this round with pretty limited util, less than desirable. That kind of means that they need to take action. They need to try to get a player dead early on, or they need to find a stack onto the right positions early on here, because they don't really have the utility to play counter to any execute from FaZe. And you can see they are feeling this. They're getting Cello to push deep here on Banana. They'll leave him there. They'll stack towards B. Cello, though, off angle on the logs. Okay, he will progress further. And he has nothing to work with there. He's in such a good position to do damage, but it's completely committed. So it all falls on him if they clear this to just get the kills. Oh, no. Absolutely nothing from that one.
Whew. Yell still hit his shot at B at least. He's called for help. Bolts is on rotation, but FaZe, it's all a ruse. They were taking along anyway, and they've walked the smoke. Bolts is late, but he's at least been given a warning sign. Rain on long. Now they know. Shuz and Danico dropping the smoke, and a shotgun from the site spamming away at range. Takes out Rain, and with the bomb loose, this is surely an MIBR round. He just has to bait and draw in attention for Shuz to get the kills on the cross. Will go wide, and that will cost him. Olaf gets one, but it's traded. And MIBR still a chance to win the half. Did he grab that orb? It looked like he just ran right past it, Bolts, with the FAMAS. They did have one anyway, but I'd rather a double orb than an orb FAMAS in pretty much any position. Either way, it's a round for MIBR. They'll take it with how it started.
Yeah, it's a crazy 2 rounds to win back-to-back. Money now, this is the more insane thing, is that the money now is gone for FaZe. Obviously, there's only 2 rounds left in the half, but to secure this one and to be against a terrible force buy, that's a great look for MIBR. They may even still win the half in terms of the amount of rounds. More presence on Banana from FaZe here. They know that MIBR are starting to get value out of having that Banana control, so they are forced to make sure that at the very least they take this away early on, get a deep position, and force MIBR to have to invest utility to retake top Banana later.
And also, I mean, you talk about the money. I think a really important thing to factor in here is this round is so important for both teams. You know, MIBR, while they can break FaZe, they are also one away from being broken themselves. So this is almost a 2-for-1. you know, at least if all kind of Counter-Strike laws remain consistent, right, and the team that force buys isn't able to win the last round of the half. So a lot riding on it for both teams, and they know that. Kierby trying to make this play happen, just flashing through, running in. They're already through the smoke, but with so many bodies here for MIBR, they're walking into a lot of crossfires. And while the attention's focused in on Danico, it's allowed Bolts to get away with a lot of damage. Oh, he's somehow got out of there. No one's really sure how he's still alive. Roki, normally so good in these clutches. There's the first. There's another man here, one at Banana, and that's Yell on the angle. AWP not missing a beat here on Inferno for Yell, and that is a very good sign of things to come. Dust 2 was a very, very slow start from him. Then he kind of had that nice little 3K round, if we remember it, with the AWP, with the collateral on the B push, and that feels like it's kind of reinvigorated him a little bit. Then winning the 1v2 just rounds ago. Dan, you said you thought that was going to change the momentum up. Well, it certainly has, as now MIBR have us tied up 7-7, and there's that horrible broken buy for FaZe that we were talking about. MIBR very, very close to winning out this first half.
Yeah, and it's so powerful too. Just just that switch up to start taking control, because we were talking about how MIBR were gambling on their defenses and just getting caught and caught and caught because of no information. They start taking information. FaZe realize that MIBR are winning rounds off of having all of that. They have to then adjust. It gives MIBR a lot to work with, and now we have a huge pace change from FaZe, who are just charging into this A site, go for the split, straight into the auto shotgun again, and it's looking pretty rough here for FaZe. Three versus, whoa, I don't know where those frags even came from.
Blink and you miss it. I'm shocked. That was a 5v3 and now it's a 3v1. FaZe just killed everything in that A site. Yeah, on a retake with a 1v3 ahead of him. Surely no way in hell with the AWP. Can't save today, Yell, and they're not behind you either. Ah dear, the penny dropping and the time is stopping as Yell's just got to hold that W key and he gets triple peaked. So FaZe, they win the half. That fast round is a solution after all, some way, somehow, I don't know. We'll see if FaZe can pull things back and make this theirs, bring us to a third map in the series, or if MIBR will send them 0-2 out of the group. Join us after the break.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back here. It is the second half between FaZe Clan and MIBR, and this is map 2 if you're just joining us. And this is neck and neck, as you can rightly see at the top of your screens. Hard to say who's going to come out on top on this one, but it is going to be a very tight one if everything we've seen so far is any indication, and off on the pistol already. Oh. Hang on.
Okay, the names are swapped around. I was gonna say, yeah, that was psyching me out as well, Dan. I was thinking, is this live? And then I realized, oh wait, they're on the same team. Right, it's all good. That was just a little test to keep everyone on their toes, make sure we're tuned in. And all right, Olaf Meister giving us something vintage. I was hoping he was gonna get a little bit more, really put the nail in, but instead, it's all mopped up by Rain and Olaf.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Not a bad start. I believe, you know, FaZe won the pistol on the previous half as well. They lost the following rounds. They got taken advantage of by a force buy, much like the story on Dust 2, in fact. So we'll have to see if they can actually hold on to this one. It's You'd want to say it's more likely, given that they're on the CT side here and so on of Inferno, but never really want to put it to chance. We'll see how things go. They've started off by taking control of Banana, which is nice. It's always nice to have a bit of information, a bit of control, especially given that MIBR, they don't really have the utility to battle for this. So this is a great win for FaZe early on.
Yeah, this force is never going to be as pretty without the plant to get some AKs or Galils, whatever your poison be. And so these Deegs have to do something insane to win a round like this. Cold with the nade. MIBR getting softened up all over the place right now. 3 on A for FaZe. They're going to pop this smoke as it fades. Cole backing up. He hears a flash. He knows what to expect and swings in 4-1. Here they come, chasing him down. The Deagle's doing more. Brokey just stalling them well. Cold throws himself at the enemies and at least sets Brokey up for another kill, dropping the bomb. B push is given away, but that's fine. It boxes MIBR into this corner. It's time to fight and die. As Brokey and Olof make it so. It's 10 for FaZe, and one more eco for MIBR. Then we get to see what this T side actually has in store for us.
All right, this one should be nice and easy, nice and simple. Don't have to get worried. Don't have to really worry about anything here. It's just pistols for MIBR. So this is where you're hoping FaZe take a nice clean round, build up some money, right? It's going to be nice. It's going to be easy. I promise you that. Plain sailing. As the first, no one's worried yet. You're actually all good. Everyone's hunting kills. Olaf dropped the bomb. Nice and standard. There it is. Even the Deagle out on Cold's errors. He's just turning into mincemeat with it. There you go, told you. Nice, clean. 5 alive for FaZe, and now things get more exciting. This is where you need to start paying attention again, all right? Weapons are coming back out for MIBR. That means chaos.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what is brought to the table here. A couple FAMAS in play, well, 4 FAMAS in play, in fact. For FaZe, never a pretty sight, but in the right circumstance, can get the job done. Brokey looking to go forward there. How nice of Rain. So, dropping that smoke to make sure Brokey avoids a couple ticks of damage. Also, preventing that vision, preventing MIBR for the duration of that smoke to really challenge. Pretty big exchange of util on Banana there, which again, if MIBR are sensible, they'll retain enough so that they still have a good amount of smokes and flashes to take a bomb site later on. And FaZe have actually decided to have 3 players on Banana, but they do need to get info there if they're going to do this. I'd say at this point of the rounds. MIBR going into top mids, and they could just execute on the site as far as, for all FaZe knows. So FaZe need that info. They're going for it right now, top Banana. They're retaking it, and it's perfect timing too.
Oh, that felt like a collateral waiting to happen, but somehow they've dealt with everyone here at B. There's still 1 man left, actually. It's Olaf with the swing, with the lineup. Oh, Olaf Meister gets it locked in at the B bomb site. My oh my, Shiz, last man alive. 1v2 to find, and Olaf, King Olaf over here, not wanting to give up an inch of ground. You ain't dethroning this guy today. He's juked the hell out of you. Keeping it old school is Olaf, using the brain and the aim to outsmart and out kind of perform his opponents there in the head-to-head. Almost nailed it, of course.
Man, with
MIBR,
MIBR
right to the end, it all falls apart.
With MIBR having top mid, with them selling the fake into A, with util going in pit and keeping players there, why on earth would they be ready for a triple B? FaZe never moved. They never even considered rotating. They knew where that one was going. And Olaf just swinging. MIBR, they'd already got 2 quick picks into the site. Last thing they were ready for was a 3rd man. That's a really nice play for Olaf. And then to hide behind Newbox and to swing round as well when he hears the footsteps of Shiz, not let him win that 1v1. Lovely.
Yeah, just perfect timing. You can't really ask for more than that. And that kill from Charlie, that swing on to, I forget who was holding the AWP now, but...
not Yell.
Brokey, yeah. That was just crazy that Cello even hit that shot, and that just seemed that seemed like that should have been enough. But either way, it's MIBR now on this shoddy half buy, And well, I say it's a shoddy half-bite, but you know, on Inferno, if you can definitely find lots of value out of a situation like this. Plenty of utility to be thrown into this A bomb site as well. Kirby with a sense of what's going on. Nade won't land, unfortunately. That could have been pretty devastating, but it is MIBR sort of after an initial bit of pressure, waiting to see if there's any response, just holding ground for a moment before deciding to move forward and to execute onto this B site, A site, sorry. And in they go.
They could be good. Pretty underwhelming. Flash to follow, and in comes the drop. The double nade will do it this time around with Kirby gone in the pit, hiding with it in the site. That's what you get for it. Shiz chases him down, and this is now a very scary round for FaZe. 5-on-3, Cello lurking, missing that though. Getting caught by Cold will spur FaZe on for the retake, but this AWP in the post plant could be so dangerous.
I tell you what, I doubt FaZe was super interested until they got that kill onto Cello. He was trying to leave, actually. He didn't want to be there. Just playing the numbers game would have been enough to win you this round, and luckily enough, right, the rest of MIBR are there to hold down the bomb site. Olaf, you're going to give us another big clip here, bud, as they do start to pressure him. Olaf holds on to the M4, just won't give anything over. This is actually really, really impeccable form out of Olaf, amazingly. Like, we're getting to see him in his element.
Yeah, that's a great spray continuation, right? Just hoping that player swings into it. And yeah, they do. They hear the shots, but they don't possibly think he's on the mark. And wow, yeah, Olaf having a great game. 22 kills, top of the server. Is it enough, though? MIBR finding their first round with the Tech 9s fast into the A site, popping out of apartments and getting 2 immediate kills. Yeah, I agree. That kind of play often forces a save, right? FaZe are, in essence, baited back in by killing Cello, but that's great for MIBR because it means they get 2 more kills. They wreck the economy. Olaf saves, but there's not a lot to fall back on if FaZe lose this round. This is a key round to get MIBR back in this map. Cello, no grenades, and that's because he's playing the top of B inside of the smoke. Very risky move. His teammates spam the smoke to try and insinuate that MIBR do not have banana. That's not the case, and FaZe aren't falling for it. They might even get aggressive here. Push very close. Olaf above boost, and a molly will slow things down yet again. This early rotate, oh, bye-bye. I was going to say the early rotate has given a lot of room out long. And so Danico finding Cold, swinging on the corner, trying to get that information. And MIBR, they noticed the triple B, they noticed the nades coming in. So they heavy rotate back. This should be their round. It's only Kirby swinging for 1 and dead, leaving FaZe locked in that B bomb site.
Slowly but surely, MIBR are getting back into this series. Or back into this map, rather. All right, forcing the save here. Well, what's that going to leave you with if you're FaZe? Honestly, you're probably not going to be able to invest a great deal. Yeah, not one of these scenarios where you lose it and then you still have like that complete buy thanks to keeping 3 alive. So that's a little rough. Yeah, so look, this is what I'm saying. So like Olaf can drop one. So you can have 4 rifles, you know, that's all well and good. Or you just decide to play around these save 3 and then get a full buy next round. It really is kind of, you know, picking your poison at this point. It's still, you know, with FaZe in the lead, still a time where they can look to apply pressure. But it's not like they did a great deal of economic damage in the round prior. So it will just be playing around these 3 saved guns. And I think that makes a lot of sense, right? You can you can always, you know, like make the argument for keeping the aggressive purchases going, especially when you would have had 4 rifles. But I think at this point, while you've got 3 rounds between you, it's best to try and get your ducks in order, as it were, you know, like try and have the money sorted. Not be worrying about being broke in a couple of rounds' time and just delaying that and allowing MIBR to catch up.
What's the best way to get ducks in order, Harry?
I find they're quite responsive to a whistle.
Yeah.
But not like a metal or plastic whistle, like a physical, like, you know, mouth whistle. Yeah, there is
lips.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Here they go, though. Oh, that's devastating. Cold shot through the smoke on the long side. They even boost on short. This is a very late boost. Rain going up and over, but down below as Danico comes through the smoke with a double. Olaf may as well get out of here. He's rocked up to the morgue. Bodies everywhere.
Yeah, man. Yolof Meister. Here he is, trying to say hello to them. They're not even getting the bomb down yet. It's going down now. Olaf, they might find you. They might find you here, bud. Oh, the timing. You can't make it up. So that's 10 for MIBR, and they get all the kills. You know, their saved weapons don't get anything done. And this is where things get worrying, right? Because if you're FaZe, all right, you're still in the lead. You're 2 rounds up. Here are the problems. Here are the things going against you, even though you have that lead. You're going to be constantly in this position where saving is both very enticing and perhaps a necessity. And on top of that, if you're not saving and you're attempting like 2v2s and then they're not going away, you're going to be constantly getting broken. So rounds are going to feel like 2 for 1. I've said this so many times. The next thing, though, is for MIBR, they've got a big bank account built up now as a result of these clean rounds. So it's really going to feel like a grind to get back into this game. Look at what's going down at the top of Banana as well. It's all gotten a little bit weird in this smoke. That's because concealed in it is actually Cello. They don't know about it. They don't know that he's that deep. Kierby, meanwhile, locked in a fight in the apartments, isn't able to win it. And now Cello, faster than FaZe were ready for, out towards the top of B, can't get anything done. That was his big opportunity. That was his chance to open up the B site. Now it falls to the rest of his team to try and pick up the pieces, and FaZe, rightfully so, they just decide to play retake here. They're not in the business of fighting this. They're going to let that bomb go down, boost up, and try to deny it, well, not deny it, but catch the planter, and that doesn't work. It actually leads to Olaf falling. So now we're into a 3-on-3 retake, and you actually have Yell waiting at Banana to catch this rotation. And with that kill coming in onto Coldzera, it's the save for FaZe Clan. This ties back into that money conversation we were just having. FaZe having to just keep these 2 players alive. And the worst part is in the grand scheme of things, even if you're with max loss bonus at this point, only saving with 2 actually isn't enough to like get a full buy together.
That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. I wonder if we will see MIBR really just starting to take over the game here. Their economy is insane, and that's certainly a position where you can derive a lot of confidence in your moves. You can be a bit riskier. You don't worry as much about losing out because of if we make this move, we're not going to have money to buy next round, so we want to play like really safe. Just gives you like more freedom. So it definitely feels like they're in that kind of a spot, and obviously conversely, so FaZe are for the CT side with no economy. So MIBR, as long as they can do a good job in this spot, and I'm worried here that Cello might give away a gun. We'll see. It's actually insane. He might be able to get away with this again, sitting in the smoke. Oh, they have no idea. But he surely does. He pushes out of the smoke. Now he sees exactly what's going on. That's got to be the round there, surely.
GG go next, and they just take me this time. No triple setup here, and MIBR have cleared it out. Shill's looking for Kierby, and he finds him. No more lurking, no more saving. Shuz is in the house, and it's causing a ruckus. Cold and Brokey looking to get away with guns. And look at how MIBR have trapped them in, leaving one man at B, coming through spawn, coming back down mid. Cold, it's all only a matter of time. Oh, missing the timing. And I think they know. I think they might have seen him. There's a spot. Nice shot from Cold, but they're right behind him, and they've got him dead to right. It's only Brokey on the site. 1 on 4 for the save. This is 12 rounds for MIBR, whether he likes it or not. No cut, no way, not a chance. He almost kills the orb, but he was dead anyway. So 12 all, and that money that we talk about on MIBR, it's building and it's building some more. For FaZe, it's one more buy, then they're back to the drawing board.
Well, MIBR, it's all lining up nicely for them at the moment. Really important rounds here for both teams, of course. This one, especially so for FaZe, broke again if they lose this. That would probably be MIBR 14-12, if that is, if how things, shake out. So it's a moment where we want to see some big results here from FaZe, and they've got themselves already a situation where Olaf has been tagged pretty badly with that orb. They've got a 3-man setup on Porch. Could be interesting to see what will come of this. This is a really good way to basically deal with the top mid take part of the default from MIBR. But it's just Danico here, and maybe FaZe will be wise to the fact that there's really not much going on here. But at the same time, Olaf is taking down Cello towards the banana side of the map, so at least MIBR in this position where they don't really know what their best prospect is now. That looks like they're just going to group up and go B. It's quite a predictable response. We'll have to see if they can execute their way out of this.
Yeah, I mean, when all else fails, try the B hit. Oh, that's a little bit of a problem. Rain was hoping to drop that in Sentry and force MIBR to run through it, but it accidentally gets extinguished in the smoke. So instead, Olaf has got to do it all from the back of the site. They're planting the bomb and he can't deny it, but he's still here. He's trapped in their cage, but don't worry, the rest of his team are coming in to bail him out. And there it is. Great stuff from FaZe to keep that site in check. Olaf, really the hero there, deals with the first man, the very first man in Cello, if you remember earlier on, over towards Banana. Follows up with a second shot, and then critically doesn't give anything away, just hides and waits, knowing that Coldzera and co are fast on this flank up through Banana and CT. And what that does is it means nowhere is safe for MIBR. They're essentially faced with two decisions. Either they run, and in doing so expose themselves to Banana, Ruins, and CT to try and flush out Olaf, or they have to just tuck down in the pit and hope that nobody comes from the Banana side, which obviously, as we then see, Coldzera arrives from that position and helps lock it in. So that was really well played there from FaZe and Olaf.
Yeah, it really was. Looking way better on the Banana control side of things here early on for them as well. And that's fine for MIBR. They can always just kind of switch up how they do the default, take top mid first and then retake Banana. That's a great way to do things in a spot like this. So the 3-man setup here again. It really just says that in this top mid take that FaZe want to just crush that completely and win the round outright. Should MIBR try to force the issue here, they will be actually forced back after getting a frag with the utility, but that's a huge win for FaZe already. And MIBR are in a spot where they need to reset. They can't really effectively take top mid with that Porch smoke available, because that allows FaZe to re-aggress onto that top mid position. So MIBR are forced to go back to Banana, but look how much time this is going to take before they can move on to a site.
Yeah, FaZe were 4A, and then when they get that pick, they go back into just standard setups. They know that the predictable play here is to be execute, and so MIBR don't want to fall into what is too obvious. That being said, the alternative is the stack. Olaf with the swing, with 2, and the bomb dropped as well. Olaf has just won this game for FaZe Clan. It feels like so much impact, and Cole closing 14-12 FaZe. They let MIBR in just that little bit on the T side, but right near the end, they're shutting them out of contention with some great rounds from Olaf. You'll love to see it. FaZe going to take us to map 3 in this series. third map, of course, being Mirage, so one that FaZe should be more than comfortable on. I mean, everyone should, really.
Interesting. I'm curious how this is all going to shake out now, whether or not one team is going to just switch things up massively, or if both sides kind of feel like what they're doing is working. I feel like there is some sort of an equilibrium there. It's just the back and forth of how does early control go, and what was this response. I feel like that back and forth for both teams is pretty even. It's just coming down to some of these timings and just hitting the shots, the setups within all of that. But other than that, it's pretty default Inferno that we're seeing. Once again, it's an early win for FaZe on Banana. MIBR don't want to challenge whilst that smoke is up on half wall. Going to pressure around apartments and top mid first, then consider pressuring Banana to just make things a little bit obscure, and then make the decision as to where they end up after that. That's the flow of things here.
Spam the apps. This time at least MIBR are not a man down out of the spawn. That could happen sooner rather than later. FaZe are aware. Smokes are fading on the A site, and MIBR will begin to make their move. 50 seconds. FaZe are entrenched at B right now. With the bomb back down mid, I wonder if MIBR will feign an A take and double back into this late B play. If they do, there's no way FaZe are going to be rotating early. They look committed to the site right now. Olaf is going CT, but he's leaving his teammate deep. Kjaerbye regressing. Oh my, this is big. Can he catch players with nades out? Are they ready for this position? No! The spray from Kjaerbye is good for one and a bit of damage. coldzera finishes the job onto another player and finds the bomb at his feet. 20 seconds and 1v3 for the AWP. This should be done. He's saving. He's letting them go past at this point. Here's the footsteps and doesn't want to take a shot. Not until he can guarantee he can escape. That is it. 15 rounds to FaZe. Map 3. All locked in. Looking likely. The only thing MIBR have is bountiful amount of cash.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say on the previous map, which went to overtime, Dust 2, MIBR found a way to really dig deep. Just at the last possible second, everything turned around for them, and they were just crushing it all the way to the victory. And well, this is that same scenario. Their back is against the wall, nowhere else to turn. We'll have to see if they can pull off something similar as to the Dust 2 performance. For now, though, we actually have a start whereby they are winning bananas, so that's already a good change. That has been a predictor of a lot of the victories of their, the rounds in which they've played so far. So. Oh, in fact, after many rounds of defaults, they may completely catch FaZe off guard. During the time you expect the top mid take to come in, the B exec might come in. But with that said, Kjaerbye's already rotating towards B, so it feels like somehow FaZe understand this. They have the tell somehow.
And his contact is just a smoke flash. In they go. Kjaerbye cordoned down on the utility, but Olaf is still here and fighting for his life. 2 kills, more than you could ask for. A gap in the smoke, but Kjaerbye shot through the full-fledged edge. The bomb's secured, but not the plant. 3v3. It's a retake round for FaZe to close the map.
Oh, right. So you got this little molly. Kjaerbye's going to dump that one over to try and flush players out from these post plants. That's going to make Bolts get, I was going to say uncomfortable, but the Molotov's missed. Bolts repositions anyway. Yeah, almost caught there, getting a Molotov of his own in. Now he could have saved that for the defuse. He's used it early instead to try and slow down this retake, try and waste even more time. Bolts needs help, and there it is from Shuz. Yell with another, and suddenly it's all on to Brokey. That is a nice little post plant from MIBR. The missed Molotov coming back to hurt FaZe as well. you know, leaves them guessing as to where bolts might be. And yeah, he dies with the bomb, but money is not the problem for MIBR. They're sorted, they're fine.
Yeah. What's so nice about that is because it's such a fast execute out of spawn with like a minute on the clock, MIBR haven't, as you said, Dan, you've gone back to their A default, taking the mid control, cycled smoke, set up util there. They've got so many grenades. So in that post plant, they double molly coffins, they HE in as well. They're just like attacking FaZe with projectiles and softening up those targets. So it's a great round for MIBR. It's taken a while to figure out a solution. That's finally it, and that will help as well. Brokey takes his AWP down Banana, and Yell sends him back to the lobby.
Just like that. Back against the wall, suddenly there's this extra oomph coming in from MIBR. Yell playing with fire there, but already keeping a lot of attention. Just keeping that pressure on towards Banana for now, and making FaZe respected. And they are split 2 to a bomb site, and this is a very typical situation. Now, there's 2 options. Either FaZe, well, there's 3 options. Either FaZe try to stack one side entirely, or they stay in a 2-2, or they try to info push with 2 players on one of the 2 ends. The info push is not happening. They're staying passive, and they are going to be the recipients of a fully fledged Brazilian push onto this A site, a split push. It's going to be very difficult to hold this. Kirby trying to lock it down from the default boxes, but it's not happening for him. coldzera, it's all that's there, and it's just a measly 1 kill for him.
Oh, baby. Here we go. Another OT. It's not what I had in mind, but FaZe struggling to close. What was seriously helping it was Brokey getting these opening kills in multiple rounds in the last few for FaZe. So without that happening, and in this one, Brokey dying first in Banana very early as well, it started to flip on its head, the momentum shift. The money that has been here all half long is finally getting put to use by MIBR. And one more, and we run the clock back.
It's kind of crazy. Again, if you look at it, this is kind of, I think, exactly how it went in the last few rounds of Dust 2. Because FaZe, I mean, they're actually going to save a couple guns, but they don't have economy. So if they had lost those 2 weapons, they would have been on a really shoddy kind of force buy situation. So everything's looking good for MIBR to really send this to overtime. However, I would say on this map, it's going to be a much easier prospect to make stuff happen with a shoddier buy. And you can see that those 2 guns saved really made all the difference here for FaZe. They've got a pretty solid buy going into this last round.
Yeah, and that's going to apply on OT2 as well, right? FaZe, if MIBR get us there, well, you know, we know MIBR have had money all T-side long. FaZe will finally be in that same camp with full grenades, with the AWPs available as well to lock down Banana if we get there. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, not to say that FaZe are suddenly favored, but they will be in a better position than they have been here in the second half. However, everything goes out the window once you hit OT. MIBR moving up B. Early rotate out for Brokey, the AWP going into the A site. Couple nades. The AWP rings off. Boosted at the back of B, or at least double stacked to the site off FaZe. And already, yeah, Brokey reconsidering. It's the right call. B has been a bit of a problem in the last few rounds. And Brokey's committed. In the past, when we've seen Kirby here as a 3rd man, he was in spawn, so he can't really do anything. Spam a smoke at best, but he can't actually make a play for the bomb. And so Brokey playing in the site is nice, but there's just so much reconsidering, right? He goes in, he goes out, he shakes it about. This time it's Olaf leaving, but he's not going far. So he will again be able to throw in that molly, spam the smoke, provide some assistance as MIBR go with 20 seconds. Brokey is the first to die. Rain can trade, but they've got to get this plant.
Ooh, bomb dropped, Rain buying time, and it all comes down to that. And now, bomb with the kill, they need to get the bomb planted. They've got 7 seconds. coldzera trying to deny it, but he can't. And so with seconds to spare, the lifeline is in for MIBR. Kirby all alone does have the drop on Yell. Yell's got no idea. Blindsided by the FAMAS. Still in with a chance of FaZe. Kirby trying to get them over this finish line. He spots one man on the pillar, but Bowls holds his own. 1 HP the difference. And we're heading to overtime. Again, the second overtime in this series. This time on FaZe's map pick.
Yeah, last time MIBR took it flawless. Keep that in mind over on Dust 2. So, not to say that's necessarily going to repeat, but FaZe unable to close on Inferno as well. Oh, seen that before, Dan. Oh, I like the move. FaZe have the money now. They've got deep mollies in mid. They've pushed off the back of it. And Kirby has netted a couple of kills. Oh, the change of pace for FaZe may be the solution after all.
He threw me there with the boss of major reference, and I was actually muted, so I was responding and stuff, and I was like, oh nothing's happening. No, it's totally cool. I don't know why I was muted. Either way, that's that change of pace, just going up mid like that for FaZe, that seems to be the kind of the move that they were looking for. They've managed to get into a 5 versus 3 MIBR, not expecting to get caught off like that. That's the first time that FaZe have pushed mid like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's the case.
Yeah. And
now we're in a spot where MIBR are trying to find their way into some kind of a solution. And Bolts, as the setup here is beautiful. There shouldn't be a reality where you can get 2 kills out of this. It won't even be the one. Cold will take him down. And now they know how deep FaZe are toward Banana. And the smoke gets dropped too. So 40 seconds left, and there is actually nowhere to go.
Yeah, you've got no control, right? Nothing's safe. Feels like only a matter of time, and there it is. Yell, you know, might just save, even though it doesn't need to, right? It's overtime. He's all good for money. But that just shows how fast and how dominant, how controlling this round was from FaZe. You've essentially, in the entirety of this round timer, not left T-ramp. That's how it felt if you were MIBR.
Yeah, the change of pace, the aggro play, it's definitely a solution, but is it a long-term solution? Is it something that FaZe can rely on, right? Because Kirby makes a big play, but you know MIBR are going to be ready for something like that now in OT. I love that FaZe wait all the way till overtime and then they decide to do something like that. It's just so out of left field. It's just the last thing MIBR are going to expect. They've been given a lot of room to really get away with whatever they want in middle and taking this A site round after round. Nice damage done, but it's still a kill for FaZe as they both escape through the apartments with the Molotov. Already back to familiar territory. Solo B is a big risk in this round, and yeah, FaZe won't hold it for long. Brokey on a rotate. Alongside Rain, who's now back in. Sorry, Brokey's at the AWP on the short side. He's got a free kill there. It's down to a 3-on-5, and MIBR just desperately hoping to execute into B, into the stack as well. So, looking like a 2-0 for FaZe in the OT. Unless something ridiculous happens.
So labored, so difficult. BR trying to make their way in inch by inch. Cello, that's a good opening, but there's a response in kind. Oh! Bolts finds 2 out of nothing, and just like that, bomb down. Kirby and Brokey make their way through CT to try to contest this, but there is enough time for Bolts to get some additional positioning. Yell as well towards Banana with that AWP scoped in, also ready. And the steps are heard. Brokey, or rather Bolts knows what's coming. Brokey is the last man. He's going to be stuck in a crossfire here. Yell waiting for the perfect moment to peek. There's the shot. Brokey can't make it happen. And that is a much needed round from MIBR. And Bolts, what an incredible spot he found himself in and the performance that he delivered, that means everything here for MIBR. Gives them just that one round that they need to work with. Some relief.
No, that everything about how Bolts played that was great. I mean, that was a 3-on-5, right? That goes down to a 2-on-2, and MIBR end up closing it out. And, you know, when they're in the 3-on-5, they're walking into a triple stacked B site. So, you know, that's even more credit to them. It's not like they had the easy task of getting past 2. Bolts plays it to perfection, and that's given MIBR a real lifeline here.
Last round of this half here, double AWP for FaZe as well. Money no longer the problem in the way. Yell's got his. Back to the mid control for MIBR, right? 4 players taking that, and FaZe have gone back to what they were running all CT side long. Very passive setups, giving away the middle area, playing back in the site, playing the moto side. And especially when you have a double AWP like this, it makes a lot of sense why you'd want to concede some ground and play more favorable ranges. That's exactly what Brokey is doing. Second AWP on B on Olaf. They're going to try and trifle with Brokey. He's wrapped around on the arch side, scoping early so they don't hear it. Molly fades and Brokey waits. Oh, that's a nice shot.
All right. All right, Brokey, getting our attention. Oh, looking for another. All right. Shur's going to get out of there. MIBR falling back into one of these B plays. I mean, B has been very, very successful for them.
Oh, 20 seconds.
And Molly wasting time off the clock, and that's going to leave MIBR feeling pressured. Olaf with the swing. There's the first. Can he get any more? Another for Olaf. Oh, maybe a little bit more from him. The AWPs light up the server for the side of FaZe, and they close out that first half of overtime, 17-16. I love what we've seen out of Olaf in this game, man. I'm really feeling the nostalgia at the minute, right? It's been great seeing, you know, obviously Dignitas looking good as well. Then you've got Olaf here in FaZe popping off. Good time to have been a Swedish legend, as it turns out.
Yes, it's always going to be great to see so many memories with a player like Olaf Meister. Not just a great player, but someone who drove the game forward. And it's you can't not be a fan of that history, that legacy. And with that said, 2 rounds away for FaZe here to force us into a 3rd map. It's a slim margin though, only 1 round behind, only 3 rounds needed for MIBR at the current time. Leaving Banana to MIBR at the moment, and that's, again, a big win. We saw that was very predictive of MIBR having success, having that control. They know that they can have 4 players towards A right now, and it has to be an argument for them to pull anyone back to that B site, and it doesn't look like there'll be one in this round. It's looking pretty committed here for FaZe.
Here's a drop-off Balk as well. That's big info. Oh, Brokey scoped up. The AWP's moving in. Yell's got a shot. He surely can't escape. That is ridiculous. Brokey moving up to try and get anything done. Eats some damage off of the HEs. Yell is still here in the site, and he's got crossfire from the pit as well, but they're running him down. The Org saving the day. Danico, he's been great with his gun, but he's now all that stands between FaZe and a bomb plant. Maybe even another round as Brokey no-scopes him on the box. It's a 2-on-2. The bomb planted, and although FaZe have low health, they are very much in this round.
I hope a chance of FaZe to reach map point and take this to a 3rd. And it's hinging now on Olaf and Brokey. There's the peak to Brokey. He's isolated, but he's still good for the swing. Cello. Oh, he's seen Olaf over towards short. Olaf getting a bit of chip damage, and now this makes it a lot harder for Cello. What's he going to do? Tries to get on the bomb. He didn't want the AWP. It wasn't the intention, I don't think. And a missed shot there. Oh, the USP.
Phil.
The pistol whip to delete Olaf Meister, and MIBR on to 17.
Oh, my.
What the hell was that? That doesn't really make sense, but okay. It's like an afterthought. It doesn't even seem like he even consciously understood what was happening. And as you say, doesn't mean to pick up this AWP. That's bad enough, but apparently still in the zone. That is... Oh my god.
I don't even think it registered that he just nailed the first bullet like that. There's that moment where he's like still looking. No, mate, you've got him. You've done it.
Misses that. That's a done
so
round.
slick, so suave, and now they're all tied up. Now things get real interesting. Double overtime on the cards. Triple banana setup, quad early on to throw in a bit of extra utility. And this 3B lean could come in handy with FaZe having their eyes set towards this side of the map early on, contesting that banana control. And we had Golden and Samuelson on the other day. They were saying how important this nade fight is at banana, and you'll see that MIBR have slightly edged that one out. That's going to help out more so for MIBR here as well, because with these M4s now, 2 of these players in that one-shot headshot realm. The little thing to note as FaZe regroup over here in mid. And look at this, Yell's about to peek banana. He's been set up here alone. This frees up 2 more players to rotate round for MIBR and reinforce this A site hold. This is dangerous now for FaZe. They don't know it, but they're walking into the stack.
We'll get some initial trades coming through here in favor of MIBR, but pretty neck and neck for now. Leaving it to Brokey though. Hits a... Oh, actually missed that one. It doesn't really matter, but as you say, really smart from MIBR. MIBR, round after round, have been getting banana. They've been getting that control. They gave it up this time. FaZe walk up. They wanted to challenge them for it, but they weren't there because they had a setup where they were going to have a delayed peak, trying to catch FaZe on a timing as they would push up, but FaZe weren't there. So they're getting the info in a time where FaZe have no idea that they are getting that info just as they've left. Just perfect. Perfect read from MIBR.
That's a banging shot as well. Brokey, who has been unbelievably good in this series, especially on Dust 2, picked out of the action, down middle. Yell just taking the fight to him. 18-17 with a man advantage. Could this be the 2-0 to knock FaZe 0-2 in the group? Very possibly. Kiabi's leading the charge. This is it for FaZe. This is everything as the MIBR try and take this series straight away from them. Rain taking long control. He's in archway. They don't have banana to wrap B, so he's just trying to kill this long player in Yell, who's gone back after that pick down mid. Oh, Rain spots him. Yell goes back in for more. It's a dangerous fight. Rain, very good at these pre-fires, knows his angles, this man. And Kiabi's also here too. This is a weird position for FaZe to be in. They hope these long players can get picks, but Yao is really not giving away a kill. He's playing this masterfully. Finally, FaZe flip him the bird, smoke him off, and split the site.
Oh, Rain with a nice tap, and now things get real claustrophobic here. Inside of the A site, it's left into a 3-on-4 retake. Double overtime, very much on the cards now more than ever. MIBR taking a long while to fully rotate round. Cello still a long way away. Smoke's down. With that being replenished, you know, you might just have to go through it. If you wait for that to fade, you need all these kills in a matter of seconds and then get on that bomb. Hey, it's good to Kiabi. Do they have another? No, they don't. They throw in a smoke to try and facilitate this push, but Kiabi's still a threat. Kiabi is still a problem. Cold Zera back at the site, and there it is. Kiabi with the late peak, double overtime locked in, ladies and gentlemen. The game that just kept on going. MIBR FaZe proven to be as close as we said it would be. Although I wasn't predicting this. You know, when I said close, I was thinking like 16-13, not double overtime, raging into the night.
And it's great to see
or morning, I guess, in your case, Dan, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great way to get energized, for me at least. I don't know about if it's beneficial for you at nighttime, but here we have another fast take on another. The triple nade coming in from FaZe. Look how, oh god, that last nade could have been the one to finish off Cello, but he will stay standing for now. And really smart stuff from FaZe, knowing that MIBR have had a lot of value from top banana. Oh, right, well, Cello, he likes to sit in smokes, but this time he will go down, unfortunately, for MIBR, and they'll start off on a bad footing. We haven't really seen this happen too often in the last 10 rounds or so. Curious how they will try to recover from this. Again, the typical response is cut noise as the T side, allow them to go 2-2, and then attack the A site where it's easier to isolate the defenders. That's usually how a T side would like to do this. You can even try to get a lurk up top banana to punish an info play, punish rotations. There's so much you can do here. And FaZe, they may actually they're going for the B wrap. Not the usual response for this, but it's going to be pretty devastating.
Yeah, only bolts here on this side of the spawn. Back of the site is going to be that or getting one done. They're going to try and molly it out. Bolt is dead to the 1B split player. That leaves Danico in hot water, in fire, in fact, as he smokes it off and drops his util hurriedly. Does do some damage, somehow still alive here, but no ammo. He should be dead on the next fight. Oh my god, he swung, and he's gotten away with another pistol out. If he can even get one more kill, that'd be huge. But instead, it's Shuz alone, as his teammates have all fallen. That's a damn good attempt to the back of the site, and it's not done yet. Shuz fast in with a kill. The orb dodged as he gets through the smoke, and he can try and isolate another 1v1, but Olof will win it out. Keeping up his strong performance, 36 kills for Olof Meister.
I almost want to see a mid aggression from MIBR on the C side. It's like really like mix it up just like FaZe did. Because I think, you know, FaZe have started to get a really good understanding of exactly how to get value out of the early round now, even if they lose banana. So throwing a mix up would be great to see, but MIBR instead will go for that typical 3 banana early round approach.
Well, good early damage onto Kjaerbye. Great early damage at that with the third nade going in late. That's knocked Kjaerbye out of the banana and locked that in for MIBR. Now we see those players that were over towards B start to come back round. But this A site has been the reoccurring problem, and this double long setup was something that in regulation was being used against MIBR. This time with top mid taking the bomb, still waiting down towards the base of banana, has alongside it another man in the form of Cold's Error as they retake this control. Yell waiting patiently, and there's the reward.
Ooh.
Rain out. Oh, Brokey at least providing the equalizer. And this now leaves a bit of a question mark in the minds of MIBR. Where's this looking to end up? It will be this B play as they go back to collect the bomb from bottom mid. They now rejoin their teammates in the top of banana, making this push happen. Boost up for Bolts to try and spot over the top, but Kjaerbye's going to check it. Cello needs to put on a bit of a show, and he can't. Brokey cancels him out, and it's a 2-on-3 retake for MIBR. Things are looking good for FaZe here. The only worry is Kjaerbye, low on HP, could give up the 2v2. But it's not a worry yet.
Boost where you can. That smoke ain't gonna last forever. Send the AWP up, but look who's watching, waiting. Kjaerbye dead off the top. That's a fast shot for Yell. Shiz can flash him in from the coffin side. Brokey's holding though. Is the flash gonna really affect him at this range? No. It lands short. Shiz with 1. Damage done to Brokey, but he's got to clear close and he checks the wrong side. Nice pre-fire, but Olof is tucked and there's just no time. And Shiz doesn't even know if he did, maybe there was a chance. Instead, FaZe find 20. And I gotta say, as good as he's been playing in this series, that's a massive error from Danico that really cost MIBR the round. They're 5v4, they're 2 on B, FaZe are grouping B, and Danico pushes short. He dies to the AWP on Brokey, and as he dies, Yell is halfway on his B rotation to go and stack the B bomb site where FaZe were ending. But because Danico dies, getting that info, Yell has to double back. He has to bail on his rotate. FaZe able to execute into a 4-on-2 into that B bomb site, and they just win it out. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame, and it's going to get worse for MIBR. Boy, oh boy, is it going to get worse. 2 picks early, FaZe finding their 3rd by the looks.
Oh, it's brutal. The humanity of it all. FaZe about to go flawless in this first half of overtime. And there it is. It's looking like a lock-in here. Bolts all alone. And let's face it, he's probably not going to make this one happen, is he?
Yeah. I mean, if he was able to do it, it's one for the history books, that's for sure. But he is getting hunted. They know precisely where he is. Not even going to get the ability to fire his gun. All right, well, back against the wall again. Means that we know that MIBR have a tendency to find a way to turn it up so far in this series in these moments. So once again, can they call upon that strength? Well, we shall see. On this T side of theirs, they're going to need a lot. And FaZe, it feels like they've got to be so comfortable now. This is one of the most comfortable positions they've had all game long. Starting off 3 towards Banana for that Banana control early on. In fact, FaZe going quite aggressive for it. We're very deep there. That's extremely brave. Now, it would be great to see MIBR challenging through that smoke. That would be fantastic. Give it a bit of a delay. And try to punish FaZe if they were to stack 4 towards A, which is the typical response from that deep smoke. Can't get top mid just yet either, so definitely a few arguments to try to retake Banana here. This looks like that's what's going to be happening. And meanwhile, Danica's lurking up by that arch smoke. Oh, big pick.
Yeah, nice little opener, right? Finding Rain, trying to get the Banana info. Now that's going to force an early rotate out of Brokey, but this is where Danico's position can come in handy. He just heard that rotation away. So you're actually going to start to see players peeling off Banana and rejoining this top mid position. That's Yell with the bomb coming in. Now that they've lost Danico, though, the future's kind of uncertain as to where this bomb's ending up. It will be the A commitment. These players from B running back to rejoin with their leader over in top mid. Shuz in the apartments, taking a peek, doesn't see anything yet, but getting up on top of the boxes is Cold's error. He's done a lot from this position before. This time it's only good for 1, and we're left in a 2-on-2. MIBR, they need a flawless half to get us to a triple overtime. This would be the first out of 3. Yell holding on to middle, and he needs to win this fight. There it is, the flick to Olof. And now that's left Brokey in the clutch. 1v2, P250 out. And maybe a chance to get the drop on Yell. It's not being held, but the P250 misses. There's 1. Yell trades it immediately, leaves nothing to chance. 4 in the round. The opener onto Rain at Banana. 2 in the 2 versus 2 as well. Great stuff from him to put 19 on the board. MIBR still trying to claw their way back in. Not letting FaZe close this game out yet.
Yeah, it's interesting too, like the amount of frags it feels like is a lot higher on FaZe. There's 3 players above 30 and pretty much everyone in the 20s for MIBR. So it's just kind of interesting to see the whole pack together. Brokey on that mid face. Won't find any love with that AWP just yet. MIBR have the option to go aggressive on Banana. Olof is holding it. It seems like they might be aware of this, holding the gap. The flash, just a solo play from Olof is good to take down Yell. And you guys are just highlighting exactly how important he has been in some of these rounds with the AWP, but now he's out of the picture.
On map point as well. Goodbye, Yell. He's got to sit back and relax and hope his team can pick up the pieces of this round. Are they going to fall into a standard 4-on-2B execute? This time, no early rotate from FaZe, no third man, no fly in the ointment. But still a problem. AWP is posted, Olof looking for more, and he's not the guy I'd be wanting to mess with right now. It's a good entry from Cello. Olof can't stop the assault of B right now. There's that CT smoke. Molly's in very late. He thought he could get a fight before it bloomed, but now they've crossed into the site, smoking him off on both choke points. Oh, hello. Oh, very close. But close won't cut it, as FaZe have to retake in a 4-on-4.
Setting up. You do it, Harry. Get in there.
Yeah, no, man, I got it. I'm feeling it. Here we go. Danico, back of the site. It's actually Bolts to steal it away. A lot more where that came from, though, Danico. And he shrunk himself down. There's the swing. There's the lineup. And now just Olof. He's on the bomb, but he's not going to get any heroics today. He's not earning another graffiti for sticking a defuse. That there is 20 on the board for MIBR.
He can do it in mollies. He can't do it in smoke, though. Shot through it. And MIBR, how are they still in this game, mate? I really don't know how this game's even still going. I don't know who should have won by now. It's been so back and forth. But you thought surely FaZe with a flawless T side were going to be able to just get it over the line here. MIBR stepping up when it matters. And one more for the triple OT. Is that really the world we live in? Might just be. 4 B players for FaZe. They really want to win this banana fight and have some spare grenades as well. Good HE onto Yell. Don't want him getting picked up early again if you're MIBR. You may have won that 4v2 into B, but that's only because FaZe didn't triple rotate, which is something they've been very, very on top of in many of these 5-on-4 rounds, is having a heavy B hold. But obviously now things are standard, back to a heavy short pit setup for FaZe. Long is open, but it's by design. Oh, again the pick. Brokey delivering a lot of those openers. Panico gone. Triple OT or 3-map series, maybe even both.
In the 4v5 for MIBR, things slowed down as FaZe don't want to take any chances. They themselves are playing essentially retake on B. They actually have spots where both players can disengage and not commit to fights if it's a B exec. And on the A side of things, they are very far back. 2-man pit setup. So FaZe not putting a single thing to chances. This push is gearing up. And as it looks ready to go, oh, that's stunning! What an entry! But the response is just as good from Cold, and he is not done just yet. It may, in fact, it is dead in the water here for MIBR. Finally, we have a winner, and it's FaZe.
That is unbelievable, and yeah, congratulations. They're going to be a bit worn out after that one, I can imagine. Kirby's already out of there, as you can see, as FaZe take the map in this series, the second map, taking us all the way to Mirage. That was a baller of a game, honestly, a banger of a game, and MIBR deserves some props for hanging on throughout all of those OTs as well. So yeah, I have no idea where this series is going. I feel like FaZe are going to have a lot of wind in their sails moving forward.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think at the same time, there's a lot that we saw from that series which really suggested Yell's really warmed up. I mean, it felt like really every single player from MIBR was doing great stuff. And similarly for FaZe, it seems like everybody's on right now, that just sets us up perfectly for a decider.
Well, let's throw over to a break, and we'll come back with the third map of the series. See you soon.